Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing fantastic, and I hope the start of your 2015 has just been absolutely amazing, as the rest of it should be. Today I'm going to do a video about healthy living, so my health journey and what worked for me. Now I'm going to say this because it worked for me, but you need to adapt anything that I say about you. It might not work for you, it might work for you. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I have had some training in those things, but it's not my profession, and I'm just telling you what I have learnt and what has worked for me personally. So I'll give you a bit of backstory, and then we'll continue on with the couple points that I've written down just to help. So I was kind of a normal sized child up until probably grade 4. So I would have been 10, 11, and that's when I noticed in photos and things that I was chubbier than all the other kids, and I let that affect me a lot. I was bullied a little bit, nothing crazy, but I would make friends with people that wouldn't make me feel good about myself. I would be left out from things, and I didn't feel good, and this continued all the way through high school. I was always overweight in high school. And it wasn't until probably after I finished high school and started uni that I decided that I needed to make a big change. This was nobody's fault but my own. I knew a lot about health because I did study it in school, but I didn't listen. I didn't take on any of the information that I had been taught, and that is important to research, to know what you're putting in your body and what it's doing for you. So that was something that I had to learn the hard way, obviously. So when I turned 18, probably just before I turned 19 actually, I decided that I would try and lose some weight. Now this was my decision to make my life more healthy. Before this, I'd gone on diets and physio training and everything I could think of, but this is the first time that I actually made the conscious decision to change my life. And thankfully my boyfriend at the time, who's now my fiance, wanted to lose weight as well, so he was very supportive of this, although it was harder for him to make the transition. So the first thing we did was cut junk food, and when I say that, I'm going to incorporate my first point here. I cut fast food. So one of the points that I had to learn was it is about balance, not restriction. So do not restrict yourself, and I had to learn to not restrict myself. So I kind of did at the beginning, I cut it all, and then I kind of started allowing myself to have treats and sweet things. And so first I moved from white grains and pastas to brown, whole grain, wholemeal, all that sort of stuff. I stopped buying McDonald's, KFC, anything that's deep fried didn't need to be put in my body. I started baking my own things like chips and things, because then it's not as much oil, or any oil for that fact, depending on how you make them. But I found that it was really important to also make my portions smaller, so I could still eat some of the bad things that I really liked. A good example of that is Chinese food, for example. Russell and I used to get a meal each and then a rice to share. We now get one meal to share and a very small rice to share, and often we don't finish that. So that's halving, if not more than halving, my portion size. Also, I bought bowls that were smaller because then they look fuller, and your brain is tricked into thinking that you're eating more than you are. Or even just drinking more water. Water is crucial to your body. It makes up a large percentage of your body. Drink it all the time. Drink it however you need to. I like cold water. I don't really like room temperature water, so I keep bottles of water in the fridge. And I also have a jug of water in the fridge, but having a glass of water before you eat is going to help you feel fuller. But eat slowly, take your time, enjoy your food. Food is what is going to nourish your body, and it's what I had to learn. I had to learn that food was not something that just tasted good and didn't have to care about it after that. It was something that I eat it because it tastes good, but also because it's good for me, and that was something I had to learn. And I had to learn to listen to myself. So I had to listen to my body when my body said I was full, or when my body said I was hungry. I have to eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. The next thing I had to learn, and that I kind of moved on, so started my weight loss, kept going, and I found that if I had a bad day, I would just feel awful, and you do, and I still do, but I had to learn that I am beautiful and you are beautiful at every step of your weight loss. Before I lost weight, I would have been beautiful, and now and in the future, I will continue to be beautiful, because it is important for you to value yourself. It is important for you to value what you're doing for yourself and your body and your weight and who you are, because you are not a number, and I'm not a number. And that is why for such a long time I didn't want to look at the scales, because I was afraid of seeing that number and then feeling like that's all I was. And I'm not a number. I know how much I weigh now because I'm at that point where I can look at it. And yes, if I put on weight, I'm going to feel terrible. But it's important to know who I am and to value myself. And it's important for you as well. It's important to just have that value and to treat yourself right. Because your body is what helps you live. What makes you alive, what you can do to eat, to live, to breathe. It does all of those things. And you need to appreciate that about your body. Another thing I learned, and I didn't do this until probably halfway through my weight loss, or halfway through how much I've lost, and that was take pictures. Those pictures help you see how far you've come and the progress that you've made, especially on days when you're feeling terrible and like you haven't got anywhere. It helped me to see how far I have actually come, as you'll see in those pictures. And before you do use the weight or the scales, it helps you see those visuals without having to step on the scales or take measurements. And sometimes that's all you need, because they can be scales can be very disheartening at times. My next point is that I had to set goals that were achievable for me. So at the beginning it was, I wanted to lose this much weight, I wanted to weigh this much, that was it. And when I would I wanted to get to a size, and when I would get down a size, I would be so excited. But when I would maintain a size for a while, I would be very disheartened. And so I found that it was really important to write down what I'm doing, what I'm eating. At the beginning, I don't write down what I'm eating anymore, but I do have a journal that I write down what I'm exercising. So this is just a normal journal. It's about $6 or $7. You can buy whichever one you want, and all I do is write down what I actually did in my workout that day. And not only is this going to help you see your progress, so how far you're coming, so how much better you're getting at exercises, how much more weight you can do, but it's also going to help you keep on track, because you've written down what you've done. And if necessary, write down what you're going to do, because then you have something to follow and something to stick to. And that's what helped for me. I don't have to write down what I'm gonna do anymore, but writing down what I have done means that when I look back, I know what I did and how far that I've come. Also, stick to a plan. If you need to write a meal plan to make sure you're eating healthy, do it. If you need to buy all your groceries and write a meal plan and write down your setting and put it on the fridge, do it. Because whatever's gonna help you is the best way you're gonna do this, and it's gonna happen. The last thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is the fact that it is a journey. So I've lost probably 35 kilograms since I was 19. So that will be 3 years soon. And I still have 15 that I want to lose. And that can be really disheartening, because some days I'm like, why am I not at my goal? But it was really important for me to realize this is a journey. It is a lifestyle choice. It is not a diet. It's not something that's going to make you lose the weight and you're going to put it back on. So for me to lose it that slowly is actually probably better for me. That being said, I started this when I was 19. I didn't get serious about this until I was probably 20, because your first year, you're just slowly cutting things out. But it's hard. I probably had a lot of relapses in my first year where I ate a lot of things I shouldn't have. I was also very sick first year, and so I kind of took that for granted and just ate whatever I wanted. But it is so important for you to realize that it is a journey, and it is about the journey. It's not about the destination, although that is exciting. When you get there, you're going to appreciate it, but you're going to appreciate that knowledge about your body even more. You're going to appreciate what you know about yourself and what you've learned about yourself more than you will ever imagine. And so this is where I'm at right now. I still want to lose probably 10 to 15 kilograms until I'm where I want to be, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to get there when I get there, and it's all about learning about myself, and I'm so excited to do that. And I'm so excited, if you're watching this video, for you to be doing that with me. So please leave your stories in the comments below. I'll leave the link to my first video that I made about weight loss. If you're interested in keeping track of your calories, MyFitnessPal is a good app to use, because it shows you, it calculates how much you should be eating, as well as it tells you what is in the food you're eating. And I think it's important to know what you're putting in your body. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Do subscribe if you want to see more videos. Also, I have a blog. If you are interested in looking at what I do on my blog, I do a lot of more healthy posts on there, so I'll leave that down below as well. But I hope you guys are having a great day and a great 2015, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!